This is Dan Wootton Outspoken's Worst People in the UK today. At number 10, India Willoughby, the nastiest, most unhinged influencer in the world, and that's saying something. India's transition from moderate trans media figure to hate-filled radical mirrors the LGBT movement itself. Back in 2020, India wrote, "I'm not a fan of the divisive campaign that says anyone who calls themselves a woman should be treated like a woman full-time." But over the last 3 years, the ex-newsreader has become a full-time troll, lambasting women like J.K. Rowling and Julia Hartley-Brewer. At number 9, slippery Starmer. Pretending to be Mr. Moderate, Kerr is deliberately hoodwinking British voters fed up with a pathetic Conservative and name-only government. But make no mistake, the man who wanted to serve in a Jeremy Corbyn cabinet is preparing to usher in a communist takeover of Great Britain. And just wait until he tries to reverse Brexit. Starmer is out to destroy Britain as we know it. Owen Jones, the Guardian columnist, at number 8. Wrong on every issue: the rights of women, electing Jeremy Corbyn Prime Minister, and the war in the Middle East. The Oxford-educated hard-left activist remains a favourite on the MSM. But the Guardian's reputation has forever been smashed when the management backed his tactics over star female columnists Hadley Freedom and Suzanne Moore. At number 7, Tony Blair, the former globalist Prime Minister who still believes he's running the show, and sometimes is. Like a Davos-dwelling Voldemort, the PM responsible for the illegal Iraq war still believes he has a divine right to lead Britain, be it dictating how many COVID jabs the healthy should have inflicted upon them, demanding face masks become compulsory to avoid disaster, or insisting Brexit will eventually be overturned. He's always wrong, but always backed up by the media and his close friends like Bill Gates. The thought of him pulling the strings of a slippery Starmer administration is beyond terrifying. At number 6, Carol Vorderman, the ex-Countdown host and David Cameron groupie turned left-wing troll. Hoping we'll all forget the days when she hung out with Matt Hancock, Vorders is now a left-wing attack dog, launching unspeakably nasty tirades, using whatever guff byline Times or Novara Media have cooked up that day. She's gone from Rare of the Year to a total a-hole. At number 5, scheming Sturgeon, the ex-First Minister of Scotland. No one human being has done more to cause division between the nations of the United Kingdom, usually at the expense of the Scottish people. In fact, her governance of Scotland was a monumental disaster. But the SNP became a personal fiefdom where retaining power was more important than anything. The Scottish COVID inquiry has at least shown the true nature of the woman, where she branded Boris Johnson an effing clown while attempting to politicise the COVID crisis at every turn. Shameful. At number 4, Sadiq Khan, the failed mayor of London. Is it possible for one democratically elected man to destroy the greatest city in the world within a decade? When it comes to London, the answer is an unequivocal yes. Khan's London has become a third world hellhole where muggings are accepted as a daily risk. The Muslim mayor's focus on divisive identity politics to cover up his own failings has further added to the tinderbox reality in the UK's biggest city. At number 3, Dr Shola, the UK's race baiter-in-chief. When Lucy Letby was convicted of the worst baby killing spree in British history, rather than condemn such a horrific act by a disturbed individual, Dr Shola returned to her favourite theme, writing, "Lucy Letby exemplifies how ideology of whiteness keeps Britain in a chokehold. Yep, no matter the subject, this nasty human will lead the growing scourge of anti-white racism, which is now clearly considered acceptable in modern Britain, given she continues to be regularly given prominent slots in the MSM. Shola uses constant hatred, division, and identity politics to try and tear Britain apart." At number 2, Gary Lineker, the biased Britain-hating BBC millionaire. No one man has done more to destroy half the country's faith in the British-bashing corporation. Despite being paid more of our money than any other host at the Beeb, Lineker has systematically refused to follow impartiality rules, turning Director General Tim Davie into an impotent laughingstock. By standing by the Brexit and Tory-loathing autocue chump, BBC management have been clear with what they really think, We only represent half of you now. Well, that's fine. Stop sending us to jail for failing to pay your despicable poll tax. At number 1, James O'Brien, the LBC presenter and hard-left crank. If any presenter or journalist on the right had given such a platform to the paedophile fantasist Carl Beach, who ruined the lives of so many high-profile individuals with false allegations, they would be rightly condemned. But O'Brien suffered no such indignity. Indeed, the Labour Broadcasting Company tormentor is unable to ever admit that he's wrong, but he's more than happy to berate, belittle, and torment any of his callers who dare to disagree with his hard-left view of the world. O'Brien is personally responsible for degrading the dialogue in modern-day Britain, far too happily throwing around terms like bigot and racist. He promotes a lack of tolerance and hate towards anyone who shares a different view. Particularly intriguing given the former Tory voter and Daily Express hack only changed his own perspective of the world to stay in gainful employment. And to see the full top 50 list of the worst people in the UK today, make sure you head right now to www.danwootonoutspoken.com and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more great videos.